All right, so now we're ready to check over this and see how you did. So the first question was, what type of threat did about 50% of frogs have? And we talked about how 50% is about half. So if I look at this pie graph, I'm looking for which piece is about half. Well, this piece right here, the green part, or the number 4, is a little more than halfway. So this one would be about 50%. So I'm going to see, this is number 4 and it's green. So this is the part that we're talking about, which is no threat. So I'm going to write on the line, no threat. So about half of frogs, they have no threat. They're healthy, they're thriving, they're doing great. There's no threat of extinction, no threat of them dying out and going away. Now, number 2, what was the smallest type of threat observed? So I looked in the pie graph, I looked for the smallest piece, and that would be number 2, or purple if you did colors. So I'm going to look at number 2, purple. That would be near threat. So the smallest percentage of frogs is near being threatened. They're still okay right now, but they're close to us worrying about them possibly dying out. So the smallest type of threat observed would be near threat. All right, number 3. About what percentage of frogs were at an extinction rate? So this was a harder one. I tried to help you with this one, talking about how the whole thing is $1 or 100. If I divide it into 4 pieces, that would be 25. So I'm talking about extinction rate, which is number 1, the red. So we're talking about this piece right here. So if I took my brain and I divided it into about 4 equal pieces, I can see that this one is a little bit less than 1/4, which would be 25. So I had to make a guess. This is where about 25 would be. So I'm going to say about 21%. Remember, this was an estimate. You didn't have to have exactly 21. I would say anywhere between, if you had an answer of 19%, 20%, 21%, or 22%, I would say you had a very good guess. Okay, that one was a little bit harder one. We hadn't talked about that one yet. We just had to use our estimation skills and make a good guess. Now, number 4, last problem today. Why would the chart include insufficient data? So insufficient data means not enough information. If they don't have enough information, they need to be honest with us about that. So I would say you should have written a sentence kind of like this, and it's going to be hard. I'll show you the whole thing at the end. So, scientists want us to know that they weren't able to collect enough information about some frogs. So they put that there because they wanted us to know that this doesn't include all the frogs in the world. They wanted us to know that they weren't able to gather enough data, enough information for some frogs to make that guess on if they didn't have any threat, if they were near a threat, or if they were near extinction. Okay, so these are charts and graphs. Remember, it's a way for them to show us data and show us information in a clear, easy to understand way. This is just one example. This is a pie graph where a circle is divided up into 4 parts. Some other types of charts and graphs would be a table or a bar graph or a line graph. So I'm sure that you will see some of those in your nonfiction books as you are looking through those. So I hope you have a good day, and this is the end of our reading. Make sure, I still want you reading your AR. Still need to read at least one of those a week. You can do a chapter bookmark summary. You can fill out a graphic organizer. I'm going to give you some different ideas for proving to me that you read. You can write down the pages like we normally do for homework. I'm going to make a separate post about doing that, but make sure you're still reading. That's the best way we can become better readers, is to keep practicing. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.